Hey coaches, Matt here again with our next installment of the Middle School Air Raid webinar series. Today we are going to do our 3 screenplays, get into the concepts, chalk them up a little bit, and do some cut-ups of the ones that we have. Again, if you have not done so yet, please subscribe to all of our channels, especially YouTube. And then we really want to stress this bi-weekly coaches roundtable where we get all of youth coaches just talking ball. You don't have to be a spread offensive coach to be involved. We just want to get better. So hopefully defensive coaches will come, run dominant coaches will come. And so, whoops, I got to move this thing down. We are at screen game plays, so excited about that. So now we've picked our 3 quick game plays. Now we've picked our 3 drop back game plays. And now we need to go into our screen, which there's really only 3 anyway, but here's the 3 that we use. And I want to just get into that with you real quick. So number 1, the most common one is our quick screens. Okay, so these are literally extended handoffs to our athletes in space. It's just quick. So the linemen you'll see here in a second, they're not even involved with it. We're actually running counter in the line at the same time, and I'll explain why in a second. But as you can see, this action out here, we call it a pedal screen. It's getting more and more popular. Instead of the bubble screen where the target is like a narrow looking from the side, the quarterback has just a little narrow target to hit you. What we do with our F is he takes 1 hard step forward, takes a step back, turns and backpedals with his chest facing the quarterback with his hands out. So it is a pedal screen where he's backpedaling toward the sideline, chest to the quarterback, hands up, and then catches it and gets upfield, obviously. So we're trying to keep it real simple. We had different blocking techniques last year where the blockers would cross, but we just want to keep it simple. So Y is most dangerous, R is on most dangerous, and we are throwing this ball 3 on 2 all day, every day. Okay, we call this Roger to the right. Okay, so we're an early Roger. Now, what we're going to do this year, as I mentioned, we're going to layer in our favorite run play into this, which is GT counter. So typically we see a 5-man front, and typically this is the defense we see with the safety up high. He does not count when we're counting our numbers out here. So 3 on 2, we are going to run this play. Sometimes we'll get they'll go into nickel, which not very often. It's usually a 5-man front, but let's just say they adjust and get another linebacker out here. In that scenario, we are going to check to counter here and just run counter. So if it's 3 on 3 like this, we're going to check to a run play. Again, this safety does not count in the count at all. He is too far up to matter. So that's how we're going to kind of run it. And when I go over our run plays and counter, we'll get into counter a little bit more. But typically, when we come out in 3-by-1, this is a look we'll get, some version of this 3 on 2, and we're just going to turn. The quarterback is going to take it and shoot it out there as fast as possible, almost like a shortstop or a second baseman, get it out to F. And these receivers, I mean, that's something that we drill in from day one. If you don't block, you're not going to get the rock. You know, you can say whatever saying you want. There's a million out there, but these guys have to block before they get the ball. So that is Roger. So as you can probably guess, Larry is going the other way. Again, this is the look we typically get. So if it's 3 on 2, and we've called Larry, great, let's run it. We're still running it in this scenario as well. Again, if they triple up out here, we're going to run counter. But really, Larry and Roger are quick screens. They don't really have much to do with the O-line. There's just not enough time. The quarterback is just taking it and firing it out there. And we're going to get 5 yards minimum with Larry and Roger, no doubt. Okay. So let's get into this a little bit on the playbook. So as you can see, you'll see him take a hard step forward, hard step back, and pedal back. That's why we call it a pedal screen. Okay, and these guys are blocking. It is 3-on-2. This guy does not count in our count, so we're in good shape. So we're going to just get it out to our athletes in space, let them go to work, and that's a 12-yard, 15, 16-yard gain on a 5-yard pass. Okay, this is what it's all about, guys. Okay, again, watch his feet, hard step, back pedal. Get the ball to your athletes in space. Not even good blocking going on out there, guys, but, you know, these kids are dying to play this style of football. This kid running right now probably could be any type of running back that you want him to be, but you put a kid like that in space and special things are going to happen. Here we go again, back pedal, pedal screen, into the boundary, whiff on the block, still gets about 7 yards, okay? More than that even. Okay, guys, I mean, it's over and over and over. We can go through it. Okay, so that's Larry and Roger. Those are our quick screens. We ran those a ton last year. Those are just basically sweep plays, guys. Just look at them as sweep plays. I kind of count them on our running game as our sweep. We don't have a traditional 28 toss or anything like that. We do have some fly sweep, but just count them as sweeps and run them that way. I mean, you can run them if you have numbers when you're in open, right? So if you come up to the line and it's 2-on-1 out here, check to it. I mean, just if you guys have numbers, get the ball out and space these guys, okay? So that's our quick screen. That's a bubble screen, pedal screen, whatever you want to call it, okay? The next screen is something I didn't do much last year, and I couldn't really figure out a way to incorporate our linemen into our screens until I saw a video from Coach Joe Salas. He's on the website, listed with the rest of the coaches I really learned from. But I think this is the way, because he did it into the boundary with the receiver who's by himself. So it's not necessarily intuitive for me to think about this way, but when I saw him doing it, it makes total sense. So we're gonna line up in early, put our 3 receivers to the field. So it looks like they're gonna get the action, which they usually do, and they're gonna run a tunnel screen out here. But really what we're doing is running a tunnel screen to the boundary. And by doing it to the short side of the field, it's allowing these linemen to not have to run as far to get involved. We were trying to do it out here last year, and this guy would get the ball and these linemen would still be way in here and it wouldn't even matter. It's just a waste of energy and time. So doing it to the boundary really shortens the distance. So really the quarterback is going to take a nice fake here with the T who's coming across his face. Looks like it's going to be a handoff. This left tackle is going to invite this D end up the field, so hopefully he comes up the field. These two, the left guard and the center, are going to take their their vertical sets back and then get off to the races. So this guard gets the sidewalk, which means he's trying to clean up anything from the numbers out, which is usually cornerback. This center is going to drop step 2 steps and then come up and look inside like he's running a buck sweep or whatnot, looking inside. And so this L is going to do the same thing. You got to really sell 1 or 2 steps hard forward. You got to really sell the fact that you're coming off to get this cornerback to back off a little bit, set him up for this block, and then come back and catch the ball coming in and going upfield. Catch the ball as you're leaning forward, heading upfield, and hopefully you're folding in right behind this block to the sidewalk. And then this guy's creating an alley and you're up the alley here, okay? But I really think doing it to the boundary, that's the only time we're going to run tunnel screen this year, guys. Into the boundary, and it's going to be great. Same thing here. So we're in late, 3 receivers left to the field. So that looks to like the rest of our plays where we're going to do something with these 3 receivers concept-wise, but really we're going to tunnel screen, which we call Rose and Lucy. Call them whatever you want. Obviously, it's left and right. But I just want a quick way to say tunnel screen, right. So we're going to go late, Rose. So that means we're lining up 3 receivers to the left, but we're running Rose our tunnel screen to the right into the boundary, okay? That's the only two ways we're going to do that. And then the last one is the running back screen, the slow screen. We had this last year. We only ran it a few times, but it was traditionally just, you know, let the running back or the lineman to the side of the screen take their two vertical steps back, and then this tackle is out to the sidewalk, and this guard is up and around trying to find that outside linebacker, and the running back will sit right behind this tackle and then kind of fan out with his back to the field with his hand turned around looking at the quarterback. Quarterback will take his 3-step drop and then take a few more steps back. Everyone knows how to throw that screen. So that's the action, and that's what we're going to do this year. Again, the thing that I found in the air raid certification that was different, that I really loved, that I'm going to add, is just running shallow behind it. So if for whatever reason, I think this is genius by Helen Mumby, for whatever reason, we get blitzers here coming through the middle, blitzer here. If that's the case and the quarterback has nowhere to go and he's not going to have time to hang on, we got the F shallow hitting right behind here. So just throw the shallow. I think that's so genius that Hal layered that in, because it's an easy add. This guy's not doing anything anyway for us. So why not have that hot route built in case something goes wrong? Again, the shallow is going the opposite side of the running back, just like in regular shallow here. Again, Roxy is the running back screen to the right. Everything's happening the same. By the way, these guys are pass setting and taking on the defenders in front of them. Only the two linemen to the play side are releasing. But again, it's a slow screen to the right, but we're running shallow, wide shallow to the left. So if anything happens, you got a hot read built in, or just go ahead and run the screen, okay? Don't have any film on those last two screens. We ran Larry and Roger pretty predominantly and did it quite a bit for our screen plays, or for our outside run plays. So anyway, that is it for screens. Hopefully you got a little bit out of that, and you can start implementing. Those are easy add-ins that you'll rep every day and get really great at. There's some really great practice drills for screens that it's gonna make you really good at it. So anyway, thanks for joining us for that one. We'll move on to the next video, which will be our 3 run plays, which are great as well. So hang tight. We'll get to the next one in just a few minutes here. Please continue to share with other coaches these free webinars, because again, we just want to make sure that youth coaches know that they can run the spread offense at this level, and it's going to help bring kids back to the game. I am convinced of it. So talk to you soon.